Righty. Just gotta do some audio checks and we should be good to go. Trying out a new camera. Well, not a new camera. Trying out my Kinect camera via several extensions, and it looks a little fuzzy to me. We'll see how that looks. Give me a moment, guys. Just doing all my usual audio checks. While I eat some ice cream from a Spider-Man mug. I think the audio is good. Let me see. Put that to the side. All right. Yes, we are here. Yeah, I put. Okay, so. Okay, I just right now caught up with the audio on my external device, which you could probably see right about here in the camera. So once again, I am using a Kinect camera, the 360. I want to try something different to also remove apps from my phone I don't need. Now, when I use it as a face cam, it comes in pretty clear. To get it set up for tonight, I had to juggle around several extension cords. Then it was really silly. Had one extension cord going to a multi-prong USB, but it didn't like the multi-prong USB, even though that's what I use at my PC. So I had to take the multi-prong USB, the multi-port that is, backstep it, and then from there do two extension cords, and now it's connecting. Very weird, very weird. My only issue is, I don't know, it looks a tad fuzzy to me. Maybe if I could adjust the lighting, it'll help. The quality doesn't look as good as it does when I'm using my face cam. But I just want to get away from using apps on my phone for the streaming, even though admittedly the phone camera works well. Anyway, let's do the basic intro. Hello guys, I am Dante. Welcome to my channel, The Burger Sword, and welcome to another Sunday night streaming. Today we are doing some sculpture work. And to answer the question of my good friend Joe in the chat, yeah, I left the ice cream in the mug for way too long. So let me get one last thing, and then we could jump into sculpting the frog lady, the frog grandma, as we are going to call her soon. Alrighty then. So, in my last stream, I designed some frog ladies for my buddy Ray and his upcoming short film. In fact, a lot of the projects I've been doing lately are drawing and or sculpting many of the monstrous creatures in Ray's upcoming film. You can see all that, by the way, in previous streams or on my Instagram page. But right now, I'm gonna just open up my Instagram page on my phone. Well, actually, no, never mind. Scratch that. Today's a bit of a messy stream. Sorry, guys. There she is. So that's Frog Grandma. I did the original drawing, and then Ray went ahead and added like a bit more of a design for the hair he wanted. So I'm gonna be sculpting Grandma. That's what this is meant to be. And then I might sculpt the hair into it. Like I might actually have the hair as part of it, as opposed to using a wig, just to give the person, whoever's gonna be manning this puppet, some room to move their hand around. We also gotta flush out the under the chin, the jowls. I don't know how well that's coming off on camera. I gotta move in a bit. But yeah, Froggy Grandma. Let me see. Get a little closer. I don't know if that works. Camera to camera is always an issue. But yeah, anyway. We are sculpting Grandma. That's all you have to know. Fun facts. I was able to do what I wanted to do last time. Not last time, a while back. I made a mold. I made a rubber mold with a plaster wrapping around it, around a cheap Halloween skull. You've probably seen clips of that on my Instagram or even on my Twitter page. And I made, using the original toy Halloween decoration skull, I made a bunch of these foam skulls. And they're understructures. I just take a pipe and just go whack right through the foam. Actually, I also took a foam chunk that kind of like overflowed in all directions, and I carved it up in just the right way to get a shoulder. I think I like it a bit too much. Alright, let's jump into it now. Enough talking. We are using old ass, mostly dirty, Roma Plastilina, which once again is sulfur based and is not good for many. It is not good for many things. I just have so much of it. I want to burn through it, and as I burn through it and it gets dirtier and dirtier, I throw out pieces of it. And even though you can't see it, behind my secondary device over here is kind of like a pasta. I call it the pasta maker. It is a tool by Sculpting, which is also a sculpting company, and it basically takes your clay and turns it into thin sheets and breaks it down for you, and softens it up so it's perfect for what I need. I just pop the clay in there, and I could get a nice thin sheet. I could also make it thinner and thinner to the point of like paper almost. So this stuff is great. I feel the depth of field of the freaking camera is like so wide. Like, this is a small gap between here and here, but on camera it looks like this guy's miles away. Alright. So what I need to do is build up. Really build up a lot of this jowl, the chin and everything needs to be built up. She's partly based on the Goki, a frog native. Gokis don't really have that big like under chin that inflates heavily, like you would depict with some frogs or toads. but so she has like a narrow snout. It's really narrow. But I wanted to give her like, I gave her lots of wrinkles where the chin would be. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's no matter what time, no matter what lighting I do, I feel like it's getting flooded out way too much. If I take it, tell me. I don't know. You tell me, guys. Joe, you tell me if with or without light helps, because the camera just seems to have bad resolution all of a sudden. Maybe it's because it's hooked up to like a maybe it's the USB cord. Maybe it's too weak to where it needs to be. All right. If you say so, dude, I'll take your word for it. I'm just, I don't know, I'm looking at it on stream, and I'm just not happy with like. It seems pixelated. When I have it close to me, which I mean, it's not even that close. It's not even that much of a difference between like where it sits now, in relation to the sculpture, as to where it sits in relation to me when I'm in front of the computer. But I just feel like it's super pixelated right now. Right now, I'm just trying to get. So just trying to get like the shape and mass down, adding clay, removing clay. Yeah, but how well do you see the detail? Like I don't know. I'm looking at this on my second device, on my little buddy right here, and it just looks so freaking pixelated to me. I shouldn't be worried about the camera. I should be, focusing on the sculpture, but it just bugs me. Yeah, so something's up. Like I said, I just want to have like DroidCam is a really good app. I need more room in my phone, and I was hoping having the Connect camera, even though it's an old ass camera, I was hoping it would like, pick up the slack. All right, let me see. Let's get some frills. She's supposed to have these little frills around her eyes. Like with the eyelid, like they're froggy eyelids, but I did like little frills on the edge to like give it age and like texture. try something. Everything's falling. Ah, it's not gonna work. I was hoping of attaching the light to a shelf above me, but it's all about cords, people. Well, while I have it, we do a little shadowy turn around. How's that look? I always gotta wait for the public camera to show me how it looks, because I'm not sitting by my computer. That's way too bright. Oh well. Whatever, guys. Whatever. Reflect it off the wall behind it. See if that helps. I just don't know why the detail. I just don't know why it's coming in pixelated. I hate it. I hate it. I remember our friend Red Spectral once said audio is more important than video. And I kind of get that, but you know, because you could squint with video, but when the audio is acting up, it just kind of like ruins the mood. But still, if you're doing art, there's no point if no one can see it. I mean, no. I mean, there's, of course, the point of art isn't just to have other people see it. I mean, like, if you're trying to stream art, there's no point if people can't see it. That's what I meant to say. Stand by. There we go. So we have light facing it, but it's further back. So a little less washed out, hopefully. Maybe that'll help. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Who knows? Life is strange. Oh, I think that works a lot better. Yeah, that works a lot better. It's just having to sit here with all these cords hanging everywhere. Totally unprofessional setup, I tell you. Totally unprofessional. Now here's the thing about this particular project, or rather this part of this whole film project, this old lady stuff here. I don't know if he wants her to just be a frog or be kind of creepy. As I go along, I can add more details and I can add like just things to like make her feel unsettling. I mean, she's gonna have human ears, for crying out loud. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better on camera now. Yeah, I think what it was just like the light was just causing it to flood and just not help it. Still a little pixelated in my opinion from what I could see. But better. Original drawing, the eyes are more disc-like. This is just big old circles. Like, I don't know what you call it. Like a pancake, if you would. Like that's the way I drew the eyes, but I just put these giant orbs. So the size works, but they do stick out a bit more than I think it should. So if I could find another object that can kind of fit this diameter, but it's more flanned out, it might be better. Well, but Dante, why don't you just sculpt the eyes as well? It's kind of hard to get that perfect dome. So that's way too narrow. I need to fill out all of this. I need to fill this all out. So let's just put some big old chunks in there. Anyone has ever done ceramic, you know, you score it first. Yeah, it's better. Good news is because of the, I guess you say, wider depth of field, because it curves like outward, if I move it towards me, which I normally tend to do when I'm doing sculpture just to get my hands on it, you guys can hopefully still see it. Also, I'm taking a sculpt of a old woman with her mouth closed, but because it's going to be a puppet, I have to sculpt it with the mouth open. Which it gives you, gives the because if you just sculpt it closed, there's no mouth. It's like slice into it or something. You know what I should do? white background. Cover up all the extra stuff that's just in the way. Also, maybe it helps reflect the light back too. What I love about the what's the actual name? I forget the name of the tool, but like I said, I call it the pasta tool. The name is, if I can find the box. This is called Sculpting Tools. Sculpting Tools. Anyway, the pasta maker. It's also good for like, rather than sit there kneading the clay to get soft, you just drop it in there a few times. It softens it up for you. Only downside is on the box it's like has 9 settings. Doesn't really tell you how thick those settings are. So when I got it home, I realized the thickest like sheet you could do is maybe like, what is it? It's called millimeters. Yeah, a centimeter. Like a quarter of a centimeter, give or take. That's like the thickest it could go. Then the next sheet, then you can only crank it smaller from there. So if you want like pre-made thicker sheets, it's not the best thing, but it is good for like, you know, paper thin stuff. In fact, I did the paper thin layer and then put that in thin skin like, almost skin like layers around the original foam skull. Once again, I'm just trying to build it up more and more and more. I should put more. It's kind of leaning forward. I should put more on the base of the neck because once again, someone's hand's gonna go in here. And if it comes out really nice looking, but the actual proportions prevent someone from like puppeteering it like a sock puppet, I maybe will have to like create some kind of mechanism that just opens and closes the mouth for us. Scooter and Skeeter. Fun fact. Let me see. Scooter was the Muppet Show. Skeeter was added to Muppet Babies. I guess to add more female characters. But they were twins. They were like, everyone knows, you know, they were like, if you ever watch the show, they were like twins. They were meant to be kind of like, not that they were meant to be, but they reminded me of the twins from Rugrats. Where like, you know, Miss Piggy was prissy, but Skeeter was more punk, and her brother was like, you know, quiet. So I remember growing up thinking, as I got older, I was like, man, how can we never see Skeeter in the Muppet Show? It turns out, a few years back when they did a Muppet comic, it was a comic about the Muppet Show. Skeeter is introduced in it. Or rather not introduced, you find out what she's been up to. It's like, I think she like went traveling or she went to college or whatever it was. And the fact is they acknowledge in the comics that she is a character. But while her brother stuck with the Muppets and did the Muppet Show, she like explored the world, which kind of makes sense if you ever grew up watching the Muppet Babies. About like watching her going on adventures and stuff. Like, okay, that kind of makes sense. I'm just trying to fan out the neck area, and then we can always remove it if we have too much of it. In case you're wondering, yes, this is a container for cat food. My mom, Mama Burgos, better known as, I think it's Iris Lugo Kittens. Oh, Iris Lugo, yeah, Iris Lugo Kittens on Instagram. I believe it's Iris Lugo Kittens. I have to double check my mom's on Instagram. You know, she gets donations for the cats, and these are great like containers used to hold like the cat type of cat food. This particular type of cat food, and then she holds on to them afterwards. She's like, "You need a container," and I'm like, "Oh, mom, you don't have to give me containers. You can't give me containers or boxes. It just builds up." But when sealing away the smell of sulfur, the faint smell of plastilina, that is, it's a great thing. With sculpting, especially in my case, I have to keep reminding myself of the old expression: it's gonna look worse before it gets better. You know, you have to just add a. And also, you know, I'm going by a drawing for the reference, and it's not like this drawing is, you know, you could do the best drawing in the world, but then you also realize, this does not work in 3 dimensions. Crap. Which is why I always admire like when they come out with like a sculpture like from a comic book or whatever, and it's like really stylized. Like the Hellboy comic has a unique style to it and how it's drawn. And when you see like whenever I see like renditions of that kind of flat angular character, I'm like, that looks really good. How did they do that? What black magic is this? So if anyone's wondering, I just took the human skull, right? And I put a bunch of toothpicks. I put a center toothpick and 2 crossing ones, and that's how I got the frame. This is still the human skull. Like I said, either I'm going to sculpt the hair as part of this thing, like actually sculpt hair, and have to worry about like actually giving her a wig. Or if I am to add hair to her, add a head to her. You know what? Maybe I would keep this, because normally, if she didn't have hair, this would be flat. Like, I would have to cut the top of the skull off. I also realized the ears... Nah, I'll leave the ears where they are for now. I was about to start messing with the ears. Yeah, I need to fill out all of this next. Like, all of this needs to be one wrinkly piece here. So, earlier today, while talking to Joe, Katorius Rex over in the chat. Now, when I was talking to him earlier, Joe has been trying to get me onto Monster Clay, and it's a wax-based clay, so you heat it up. And that's fine. Like I said, I'm just trying to use as much of this as possible, because I end up throwing a lot of this out every time I go to another project. I do have a big I have these 2 bricks of black Roma clay in the closet, but I never bothered to check if they are sulfur based, because while I was at the art store, I was shopping at Utrecht because a family gave me some what's it called, some gift cards, and so I was like, I gotta use these gift cards. But anyway, as I was there, I realized among the Sculpey and among the Plastilina, there was sulfur-free Plastilina. So, like, I guess if you really like this texture, as I do, I like it simply because that's what I use all the time. But yeah, they make non-sulfur-based ones, and I might just have to start buying that. That way I have more leeway in future projects. I don't have to worry about what I'm going to mold it in, what I'm going to cast it in, because that's the issue. Sulfur does not like a lot of material that is used for molding and casting. Sulfur does not like it. Or rather, it does not like sulfur. Anyway, so we're talking about the Monster Clay stuff. And I was asking him, like, hey, is Monster Clay also known as, like, toy wax? Essentially, a lot of back in the day when Kenner did all your favorite Ninja Turtle toys and things like that, these were hand sculpted, not 3D sculpted. These were hand sculpted. I'm not saying that like nowadays people use 3D. No, forget it. 3D sculpting is amazing. It's an amazing skill. I wish I had it. For 3D rendering on the computer. But when they did sculpt stuff like the old Star Wars, the original Ghostbuster toys, pretty much every single Ninja Turtle toy, it was done in a wax. And apparently Monster Clay is like the newest version of that same wax. And I'm like, alright, fine, maybe I have to start using Monster Clay. Maybe you've convinced me, I don't know yet. Once again, I'm trying to like make sure the top and bottom jaw have like a nice, like here needs to be. In truth, her mouth doesn't go this far back, so I need to like fill in here, and like there you go, smooth it out a bit. Yeah, I think my issue are the eyes. The eyes are sticking out way too much. I need to find, they're called chevrons. Like, it's once again like a, not a perfect circle. Has the same diameter, but it's kind of flattish. I gotta find something that can replace this. I wonder. Oh, I wonder. Let me check something, guys. I have here an old art case. We used to all carry these back in the LaGuardia days. Back in LaGuardia High School, everyone had one of these. I use it now for bits and bobs, which I cannot show you on camera because if I tilt it, it's all going to fall out. But it's literally just all kind of bits and bobs. So, essentially, I'm looking for something like a googly eye, where it's round but kind of only slightly domed. And I might have something here that matches that. I got some big googly eyes. That might work. These yo-yos are no good. But yeah, so this is what I use for a lot of my scrap building stuff. I just realized I had so many little things everywhere. So pieces of wood, pieces of metal, round things, square things, beads and whatnot. I basically took a hint from Bill Making Stuff on YouTube, who I've mentioned several times on this channel. And go check out his stuff; it's really good. And he has boxes and boxes of organized little bits and bobs. So something like that, maybe a little smaller. That might work. Come on, wiggle, wiggle. Ah! Freaking horrific. Yeah, something like that. That looks a lot more. I mean, granted, when you think frog, you think the giant round eyes, but in truth, it wouldn't be as much like that. Yeah, that looks like. Yeah, that might be better, because I could build up the clay around the snout. Yeah, this I think will be better. Yeah, this might actually work a lot better. It gives me room to put scales on the bottom. Yep, I think this is a much better solution. You can't really see it because they're clear, but it's still domed. Has a nice, just a nice of a dome on it. Yeah, we're gonna go with that. Let's fill in, I guess you could say, kind of the tear duct area first, because now that we remove the ball, it's a big gaping hole right there. Normally, when things get a little quiet like this, I realize there's no background music. Stand by. Why is there no background music? That was very weird. I figured it would just loop around. For some reason, the music did not loop. Hit the last part and then it just stopped. Anyway, sorry about that. Like I said, usually when it gets quiet like this, I usually talk about, something in like media, like what's going on with the new cartoons, what's happening right now. And in all honesty, there's not much going on. I mean, I say that. I know a lot of people are like, there are tons of like web shows that are on right now. I have not watched Hella Boss. I know the creator of that has done a number of things. I've not watched that actually. I hear a lot of people seem to like it. I have no idea what I have no idea what it's really about, because I've seen so many pieces done by that. I think it's one woman who does it. Where I'm like, is this show, or is it something, or was that show, was it something she did years ago? Because it was Has Been Hotel, then there's Hella Boss, which is I think that's what it's called, and a few other things. I remember Has Been Hotel being huge. People seem to like that. But before that, I remember she had a character she had all over the internet, which was like this fox character, this blue wolf that was like, I guess, her avatar, if you would. I don't know, just stuff the artists did in the past, and when I'm trying to catch up on what they're up to now, I get all their different series mixed up. But I know Hella Boss seems to be very popular, so maybe I should give that a good look when I get a chance. And I remember I was actually just on YouTube today, and I was looking at something someone brought up, and I'm happy someone brought it up, because I've been talking about it for a while. And it's just like, why are adult cartoons so childish? Like, why are American adult cartoons just like dick jokes and shit jokes? Like can we just it's all Rick and Morty. Can we just have like a show, like with a story? I've mentioned before, Primal is like a good example of like, that's a good show, and it wasn't a show about dick jokes. It was like a legit like good show. But it's like so far in between. You have shows like Infinity Train, which start off, in my opinion, definitely more like family friendly. I won't say kid friendly, but definitely family friendly. But then it dives into some, serious dark subject matter. And what happened with that? HBO Max went nuts. But like, you just don't have like shows that are like, this is a show that a teen and plus could watch, and it's not just ass cheeks clapping or whatever the hell some guy thinks is funny at the time. Like, I want freaking well written shows. What happened? Like I said, this is like recycled clay, by the way. On the note of still sculpting, so in it there's like little bits of plaster and little bits of glitter from the original skull I used to mold this. Like, there's just like weird bits of like stuff in it from my previous projects, and at a certain point I just chuck it out when it gets too dirty. Okay. Let's see if we can get some. Let's get wrinkles and passes. once again, I'm not really trying to do. Give me a second. The hell's that noise? Sorry, I have my headphones on so I can hear the stream. So I have the music, myself talking. Every so often I hear a noise and I'm like, is that in my house? What is that? Even worse if you're someone that has like pets or something. So I'm gonna get the wrinkles coming off of the jaw to help, off of the top jaw to help make the connection better to the bottom jaw, just visually better. Then I'm gonna start adding little wrinkle and like details all around the eyes to bulk up right here on either side. Once again, big shout out to my younger sister for supplying me with an entire kit of brand new sculpting tools of various types of sculpting tools. It just, makes it so much easier. Yeah, once again, adding more to her, to like give her the like, it's a frog. Frogs have like big rounded, like it goes from a snoot and it kind of rounds around. So I need to fill this all out. And then I can add the wrinkle details, not the wrinkle, the scale details. Here's a question I need to actually look up. I'll check on Google later. Do crocodiles shed their skin? They're reptiles, right? We always hear about snakes shedding their skin, or smaller lizards. Do crocodiles do it? And if so, I want to see that. Or do they not because they're more water based, so they don't really need to? I wonder. I'm gonna get some water. Stand by. just taking little balls of clay and making like scale-like patterns around the face, around the eye, that is. Then I'll go in there and actually like define them better with some like hands-on sculpting. I think what I need to do is fill out here and here. I mean, the ears are gonna come off. Oh, not even off. I just need to like stuff in there. Yeah, I'm seriously thinking I might need to re-download Joy-Cam. Have it on my phone specifically for when I do stuff at the table. Because I don't like the way this camera's working. It's great for a face cam, strange enough. It just, for some reason, it just isn't catching what I want here. Just got another, just got a little ping on my phone right here. You know, when it gives you updates on like YouTube channels you watch or whatever like that, or even tweets you follow. And I've been desperately trying not to look at stuff regarding Critical Role because I didn't watch it last Thursday. Because I was just, even though it was like the big, you know, supposedly like the big one, it's the big one, everyone's showing up. Every guy from every encounter, from all 9 years. I just couldn't. I wasn't feeling well. Because I'm on the New York coast, which means it starts at 10, and if it's a really really good session, it won't end till like freaking 2 in the morning. And I just didn't have the strength to stay up late, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go to bed early. I'll watch it on Monday. And yeah, I know it was like it's the 9-year anniversary, and as Matt Mercer puts it, he loves it when things like that line up perfectly. You know, this big turnout in this campaign, and this isn't like, you know, the campaigns go for like hundreds of episodes, and this isn't even the end of this episode, end of this campaign, you know. But I was just like, I can't do it, man. Freaking got hurt at work, got hurt helping the family at home. A freaking paint bucket fell on me. Didn't fall on my head, but still, like, it hit me in the back, so my back was like messed up. Fell out the closet from like the top shelf. It just rolled off. And yeah, I just didn't have the physical and emotional strength to hang in there. Just doing some, like, trying to figure out how I want to get these wrinkles on the face. Doing everything on one eye right now. And if I like it, I'll then replicate it on the other eye. So she has like a bunch of like scales / wrinkles, like over here. Then it breaks up into actual like regular wrinkles on skin. Once again, she might have some frills on top. Freaking googly eyes. In case you're wondering, this is just water. I need to do. I gave her like really wrinkly lips. So I need to actually like give her some wrinkly lips. Almost like you know the way the Simpsons draw wrinkly lips? That's kind of how I did it on her. Grab this for a second. You've seen lips like this before. So you ever seen the original drawings of like the lizard from Spider-Man, like the original concept drawings? It's just like bumpy lips. That's all it really is. Problem is, I am touching. I might need to cut. So I cut a divot in the foam skull to make room for this open mouth. I might need to cut it even more to give the palate more of a room. Like actually, like you could. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but right there is the white of the foam. I'm not trying to do symmetrical patterns on the lips. Like, it's just like it's bumpy lips, not like it's a scale, a scale, a scale. I'm just trying to like just do like a few different levels and thicknesses of like how the scales and wrinkles sit on her. It's a little tricky though. Get that on. Let's get that bottom lip as well. I'm thinking, just doing what I just did here, just a few like random strips, and then taking a very thin strip and push it on top of it, like like on the structure of like the bumps, and then like a thin strip of clay to just make a giant like piece of skin on top of that. Might actually work very well. Okay, let's see. That looks better. Like that's a silhouette of like a frog person. Okay. Now let's try what I was just talking about. Let's get a thin layer of clay. I'm gonna crank this ball of clay a few times. Do the old spaghetti maker. Get nice and thin. If I don't keep dropping it. No, here's this one song I hate on this freaking track. Yeah, look at that. Paper thin. Back ahead I don't mind, so we're going to lay it flat for a minute. Yeah, and then from there, use a nice like rubbery tool like this one. I could just work in those wrinkles. I'm doing really big fat wrinkles, ideally you want to go back in there with something really small and do like really fine detailing. But the one side is coming out good. So like I think I'll start to repeat it on this side eventually. Yeah, so like I'm just taking the super thin pieces, laying on top of what I've done already, and just like using that to kind of like get a nice fold of all the wrinkles and all the skin layers together. Once again, these are big wrinkles, not really finely detailed. Oh, and I say that just as I've gained a headache that's been developing. I mean, I've had a slow headache creeping up on me during this entire stream. I don't know why. What I need to do is print out, because on my phones, I'm over here sculpting, pressing the phone so it doesn't sleep on me, going back and forth. I need to print out my original drawing. That way. Nope, not trying to make a phone call. What the hell just happened? Close that. Close that. Open that. Sorry guys, just trying to get my actual reference picture up. Sorry about that. I trailed off while talking. But yeah, I need to like print it out, have it in front of me, and then try to make sense of a two-dimensional image, slowly turning into a three-dimensional image. Now, I have another carving tool similar to this. It's round. Because she needs to have this right here needs to be sunken in a bit. Yeah. There we go. So that narrows out the snout. And also feeds into the fact that she's older, so she has like a bit of a thinner face. something is weird here. What's bothering me? It's not that. It's not that. I feel like she still needs more like to fill out here. Like I think I'm just not giving enough from right here where the earlobes would be going back. It's just not big enough. This is why you're supposed to block everything out first before you start any kind of sculpting, because then you realize, oh, this needs to change, I need to change. This needs to be altered, this needs more, this needs less, etc., etc. It happens. I really should have like really focused more on the over. It's just hard because I'm like, oh, are the eyes big enough? No? Okay, let me change the eyes. When I change the eyes, this looks too small, that looks crooked. Like, it, you know, you build up as you go. It's a trap! I feel like I'm going to have a bit of a struggle with this. I went through so much to get the stream up and running, it just like drained a lot of my energy. This abuela is going to need a lot of love. Just matching some wrinkles on this side. Oh, the pasta maker. Such an investment. Like, once again, just doing some general shapes and blocks and then adding one big skin layer over it, you can then work into said shapes and blocks. Like, really work like a blanket on a lumpy bed. Bit of a mess, but the shape's coming along. Because her eyes, the pupils will essentially just be like, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but like almost goat-like rectangles as opposed to actual round frog eyes. I'm talking about the iris, that is. Once again, I know the camera wasn't that good for this stream. I will be putting up still images probably on Instagram. I use Instagram, but I've noticed you could use Twitter and just do like a thread, one long continuous post, which worked very well for like works in progress. Even though Instagram used to be my main like area for works in progress. Just doing some really rough wrinkles. Just everywhere with it. And not even stuff that makes sense. Like, wrinkles meant to make sense. I'm just, wherever there's a divot, I am accentuating that divot and seeing where it takes me. Real wrinkles have a pattern to them. We'll get to that, I guess, when we get to the fine detailing stage. Right now, it's just slapping stuff on. Little dots for the nose. Alright, my head is pounding. It has been a long week and a tiresome weekend. I haven't done anything this weekend, but I slept so much. I just crashed, and that's been happening way too much to me. I can't wait to the warmer weather where it forces me to get off my butt and actually go outside and enjoy being outside. But I think we're going to end it here. I think I want to... Yeah, I want to leave the little froggy for right now. Grab my phone real quick. Right now, just turning off all the freaking things on my phone. My phone has like 5 freaking things up and running at once that do not need to be here. There we go. But yeah, so this is the current project right now. It is Froggy Grandma. We're going to approach this the same way I did the last 2 projects, in which we will be sculpting it. Then we'll be making a most likely plaster mold of it, and a most likely latex casting of it. Images of which you could probably see in the slideshow going on right above the chat, similar to the last piece. That gave us our flying bat head. Once again, check out the threads for that on all the social media links you see on the side. Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, etc. And I think that is it. Alright guys, so thank you for joining me. Once again, sorry for the camera issues. We'll see how this goes in the future. And with that being said, I am Dante. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll see you in the future. Later.